have something to smile about. You have life, there's fresh air around you, and though we are in the season, we have been spared from the devastating effects of a hurricane. I'm sure you can add lots more to the list. So do you have something to smile about? Hi, welcome to this edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. Today we'll learn more about what the government is doing to ensure you have a better standard of living through strategic priority number 1. You should know this by now: fiscal prudence and pursuit of a credible macroeconomic program. And today is World Suicide Prevention Day, so we'll look at what one organization is doing to proactively address suicide. Then later, Jamaica's beauty on show. By Jamaica, build Jamaica.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica. Original.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, September 10. The body of the late Agriculture Minister Roger Clark arrived in the island Wednesday afternoon from the United States, where he died on August 28. Family members and a team of cabinet ministers led by Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller were at the Norman Manley International Airport to meet the body. The official funeral is scheduled for Saturday, September 13 at the St. George's Church in Savlamar, Westmoreland. Before then, 3 venues have been designated for public viewing of the late Agriculture Minister's body. In Kingston, persons can do so on Thursday at the People's National Party headquarters between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. The body will then move on to the Sharon Baptist Church in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth and the Manning School in Westmoreland on Friday. A wake will also be held on Friday at the Independence Park in Savlamar. In the meantime, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller led Parliament in paying tribute to her late cabinet minister on Tuesday. She described him as an active and lively member of the Parliament since he first entered the House of Representatives in 1991.
A representative of the people who was as sincere as he was humble. A minister of government par excellence and a one-of-a-kind politician.
I will always refer to him as honorable because in his words and deeds, he was just that, an honorable man, a humble man, a gentleman and a true son of the soil.
But most of all, he will be remembered as a man with a huge heart and one who never feared to share all the love and kindness that heart gave him.
Tributes also came from the leader of the opposition, Andrew Holness, and other opposition members who remembered him as someone who could establish friendships beyond party lines and who was always able to find the humor in a situation.
Roger is the most affable politician that I know. We could always look to him for the injection of humor when things got a little heated in the House.
And he was quick to laugh at himself. In laughing at himself, he didn't hold a grudge. Because I remember, Mr. Speaker, in the 2007 elections, I might have been guilty for a moment of a little bit of youthful exuberance. And I promptly went on a platform and proclaimed that he was big and so-so. When the government changed and we had swearing in, I saw Roger outside there. I said, "Big Rog, how are you, my friend?" He said, "Master, let me not be big and so same way."
In other news, the residents in and around Falmouth are to benefit tremendously from improvements of the healthcare infrastructure in the town. While touring facilities in the town recently, State Minister with responsibility for primary health care, Luther Buchanan, said construction on the operating theatre at the Falmouth General Hospital was moving full speed ahead.
Work is currently underway and is expected to be completed early September. There and then, we should be able to commission the use of the new theatre here at the Falmouth Hospital to serve our clients in a more modern and high-tech operating theatre.
A communication system is being installed at a cost of $21.9 million, while $15.3 million is being spent on the air-conditioned system. Elsewhere, the Ulster Spring Health Centre's sewage treatment plant and the dental unit should both be upgraded by December. $31 million is also being spent to refurbish the Falmouth Health Department under the Sugar Transformation Project. The Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC and the Heart Trust NTA have partnered to launch a heavy-duty vehicle repair training program to produce high-level technicians and mechanics. Under the partnership, auto mechanics will be trained by the Heart Trust NTA's Jamaican German Automotive School, JAGAS, to rehabilitate defunct buses owned by the JUTC. The first cohort of 25 trainees includes 5 JUTC workers and 20 Heart NTA students.
This is going to make you a more highly skilled professional, highly skilled and certified at world standards.
The two entities are spending a combined $284 million to establish a world-class heavy-duty vehicle repair and training facility at JUTC's Lyndhurst Road depot.
At JAGAS, where most of the training sessions will be conducted until the facility at Lyndhurst is completely functional, where they will continue what is expected to be 18 to 24 months of training.
And finally, government has pledged to redouble its efforts for increasing national literacy levels. State Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Arnaldo Brown is calling on the nation to join the movement.
So let's redouble our efforts to increase the literacy, as this is positively correlated to sustainable development. There needs to be all hands on deck in this global war against illiteracy.
Mr. Brown was speaking on Monday as the country joined the world in observing International Literacy Day. According to 2011 statistics from the World Bank, Jamaica's adult literacy rate stands at 87.4%, higher than the world average of 84.1%. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
Parents, make sure the children get immunized. Hear this! Immunization, it is a must. This is not a joke thing, this you can trust. It is required by law for entry to nursery, to daycare and to schools. Listen up, it is necessary to prevent diseases such as the measles, the poliomyelitis, the lockjaw and the whooping cough. Immunize your kids, keep them healthy, keep them strong. Prevent deadly diseases such as mumps, rubella and diphtheria. Immunize your child today. Immunization, a key to good health.
A message from the Ministry of Health and PAHO.
In strategic priority number 1, fiscal prudence and pursuit of a credible macroeconomic program, we look at how the government is containing expenditure but ensuring efficient service delivery through the modernization of processing systems at the nation's port.
Fiscal prudence is simply good money management, getting the most out of each dollar and making sure that investments bring immediate returns and sets up your entity to experience more growth in the future. The same applies to running a country.
As the world economy recovers from the disruptions of the Great Recession of 2008, that it is going to move into a phase of sustained growth. We are in an early phase of that recovery still, but we need to ensure most of all that as the wave of growth picks up, we are able to surf that wave and to gather momentum domestically.
A key link in that plan is the management of our ports, which have an important role to play in the facilitation of trade. This fiscal year, government is introducing a number of mechanisms to improve port operations, to make them more efficient, in line with world standards. The Jamaica Customs Agency, JCA's mission statement, in part, is to facilitate trade, protect our borders, and optimize revenue collection. As part of achieving that, the agency is revamping its Authorized Economic Operator AEO program. An AEO is an individual or company that plays a part in the international movement of merchandise. The system rewards economic operators that consistently comply with customs regulations and focuses resources on potentially unsafe and high-risk entities and individuals.
The program ensures predictability in importation and, by extension, production timeframes, a critical component to the production process. Trusted importers and exporters can circumvent the lengthy wait between arrival of shipment in the country and actual receipt of goods, not just in Jamaica, but in other AEO countries within the European Union and the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation, APEC.
JCA's revamped AEO program was launched on July 20, 2014. Through it, all relevant personnel within the import and export chain will be certified to encourage compliance and reduce security risks. The program ensures the integrity of Jamaica's supply value chain and supports a working partnership between operators and customs.
It is really then a catalyst for improving the ease and speed of doing business and for moving goods or services across borders.
The Authorized Economic Operator Program was redesigned with assistance from the World Customs Organization, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the United States Agency for International Development, USAID. Another major development is underway at the Jamaica Customs Agency in support of government's fiscal policy. An automated system for customs data, ASICUDA, is being implemented at a cost of $4 million to speed up operations at the ports by fully automating export and import transactions. It was introduced through a pilot phase in February 2014 and will be fully rolled out in fiscal year 2015-16. This system will allow for real-time updates on new tax regulations to minimize errors and delays in the computation of port taxes. This automated customs data system is also expected to significantly reduce the cost of importation and doing business for local and foreign investors. And like other countries that have already implemented the ASICUDA, Jamaica expects to benefit from a 10 to 20% increase in revenues.
The country needs the additional revenues, which can flow from this, just from the improved compliance benefits, including self-compliance. People can know what it is that they are liable for and can more easily settle their obligations. It's not just a matter of, shall we say, identifying persons who are trying to avoid or evade duties.
This is significant for manufacturers who often need to import and export particular goods multiple times before achieving the final product. This may include an item undergoing partial processing in Jamaica, being moved to the United States for further development, and then shipped back to Jamaica for final processing.
It means that if you are going to be part of that production chain, you have to be able to move your raw materials in and your product out without any interference, or as little interference as possible. If you are not able to do that, then people who are involved in organizing those production chains will avoid coming to your country to locate that piece of the production chain where we might be competitive and will seek other jurisdictions.
By retaining Jamaica's market preference, government is setting the platform for greater foreign exchange earnings, which supports a healthier economy.
Our business as government is to enable the people who are doing business of production to produce and to make us all in this country able to achieve a higher standard of living.
The Jamaica Customs Agency, streamlining its operations and practicing fiscal prudence.
There'll be a better tomorrow. 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 There'll be a day. There'll be a way. There'll come a time to sing a brand new song. There'll be a better tomorrow.
According to the World Health Organization, social, psychological, cultural, and other factors can interact to lead a person to suicidal behavior. But the stigma attached to mental disorders and suicide means that many people feel unable to seek help. In our next feature, we look at how one organization is working to lift this stigma and to show that there is always a way out.
My mom committed suicide, it happens, and just the whole stigma that is associated with suicide, it meant that it was not talked about. She wasn't really mentioned.
For many, suicide is a topic that is swept under the rug. But today we're delving into the issue, finding out the facts, hearing personal stories of pain and triumph, and sharing the reasons that you should choose life. Jamaica over the years has had a relatively low suicide rate, but this should not be taken for granted, as there are those who can't see a way out of their difficulties, opting to choose a most permanent solution to what is always a temporary problem. Local statistics show that up to August 2013, 39 persons had taken their own lives. However, the global figures are staggering.
What we are seeing around the world is an increase in the number of suicides. In the year 2000, 815,000 people killed themselves around the world. By the time we got to the year 2010, approximately 1 million people took their lives. And the projection from the World Health Organization is that by the time we get to 2020, 1.53 million people will die by suicide every year.
Dismal figures indeed, especially when you consider that suicide affects persons at all ages and from all socioeconomic backgrounds. Causative factors include guilt, frustration, broken love affairs, and economic distress. Health professionals encourage families to get familiar with the warning signs. Persons who've made previous suicide attempts are at a greater risk of trying to take their own lives. Other signs include mental illness, changes in eating and sleeping habits, and unusual neglect of personal appearance. In many cases, the person struggling with suicidal thoughts has shared their thoughts with at least one other person. Such was the case with Stacey and Kimber's mother, who took her life when Stacey was only 9 years old.
I took it real hard. I didn't even cry for her. I wasn't able to cry for her until 2009. I didn't grieve. It happened, and I know the day I could not eat. I'm the one who found her and had to explain to my sisters that, well, you know, mommy's dead. And yeah, that day was terrible, but I was definitely upset with God, because I was like, well, God not like me, else would have let my mom die like that, so me not like him back.
The stigma associated with suicide made coping difficult for young Stacey and her siblings.
We did not get any counseling. For me personally, I just knew life as I knew it had changed. I knew it has changed. I didn't know how much, but I knew it was changed. How did I cope? I read a lot. Because I know we didn't manage it. It is still not managed in my family. It's still something people still want to say, probably let sleeping dogs lie, or it's still something that most people cannot talk about today.
In the case of Francesca Tavares, it was an issue she struggled with for years, despite being only 17 years old. 3 years ago, she made an attempt to take her life. Francesca says the fact that she's alive is a miracle.
I felt I had no purpose. I didn't like myself. I'd look in the mirror and I'd tell myself how ugly I was.
Fortunately for both Stacey and Francesca, they got help through the aid of Choose Life International, a suicide prevention and grief counseling organization started by Dr. Donovan Thomas and his wife Faith in 2008.
What we want to do is to help them to find hope, because suicidal persons are usually very
hopeless.
The government of Jamaica, through the Ministry of Health, also has in place a number of avenues through which persons are able to get the help they need, with crisis centers in each region.
If persons begin to have repeated thoughts of suicides or should be planning to suicides, we would like to encourage such persons to speak to their health care provider. This could be a general practitioner, primary health care provider. Doesn't have to be a mental health provider, but certainly a mental health provider would also be useful. These persons can be accessed at the health care facilities, primary health care centers, all across Jamaica. We do also have emergency psychiatric services that respond to crisis calls.
Today, Stacey-Ann is in a much better place as the memory of her mother's suicide no longer causes pain. She's using it as a tool to inspire and strengthen others. So too is Francesca, who has been excelling, becoming a testament that every problem can be overcome.
When my breakthrough happened, for me it was like the only thing I could see in life was possibilities.
It's a good thing I didn't commit suicide, because right after, a couple months later, I got 8 1s and a 2 in CSEC, and then I got Cape 1 grades, 3 distinctions and a credit, and then Cape 2 recently I got 2 distinctions, 2 credits, and now I got accepted to go to UWI law school, so that's good.
That cannot be denied. Go on and trust yourself. You can ride the wind. You're gonna take your dreams where they've never been. There's a hero in everybody's heart.
Would you say that having healthy relationships will help combat suicide? Well, I would too. Hear this. One way to prevent suicide is to be our brothers and sisters' keeper. We must stay connected. World Suicide Prevention Day 2014. Theme: Suicide Prevention, One World Connected. If you need help or general information on suicide or any mental disorder, call the Ministry of Health's Mental Health Unit at 1-888-663-5683 or 967-1100.
Householders, business people, school administrators, protect yourself and your children from the chikungunya virus. Be on the alert. Help control the mosquito population. Chikungunya is a virus transmitted by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which breeds in and around your home, workplace, and school. Destroy breeding sites. Empty old tires and all other containers where water can settle. Bore holes in old cans. Cover water drums and garbage cans. Wash flower pots and vases and clean pet dishes regularly. Protect yourself from mosquito bites. Cover your body as much as possible and use mosquito repellent containing DEET. And if you're experiencing symptoms of chikungunya, a sudden high fever, headache, rash, nausea, pain, stiffness, or severe joint pains, see your doctor or go to the nearest health center.
Earlier, I mentioned that you'd get a chance to see Jamaica's beauty on show. Here's a little extra. You'll get to laugh and dance and just relax yourself. After all, it's been said that laughter is the best medicine and Jamaica is a nice place to live, not true?
It's a new beginning. New day is dawning. It's time to arise. We are the gene of achievement and pride.
Bold new beginning, time for action. We have the spirit to fight on.
This is Jamaica, this is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica, this is our land.
Let us make every effort to forge unity and resolve to work hard for our prosperity.
Leaving our children a legacy of hope, breaking the shackles and smashing the yoke. This is Jamaica, this is our land. This is we have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica, this
Let me hear the children say,
this is Jamaica, this is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica. Come on, everybody, let's sing. This is Jamaica, this is our land. We have our future with God in our plan. We'll play our part building this great nation. This is Jamaica, this is our land.
Jamaica, together we can.
We are a rich, strong, bold, and blessed nation. Never take what you have for granted and be the backbone for a colleague, friend, family member, anyone who needs your help. Want to become part of the global movement for suicide prevention? Check out the International Association for Suicide Prevention website, iasp.info. Stay connected with Jamaica Information Service through our website, YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter pages. I'm Theodore Henry. Stay positive.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.